to come back with me.
Where?
Back to the future.
Wait a minute. What are you doing, Doc?
I need fuel. Go ahead, quick, get in the car.
No, Doc. I just got here, okay? Jennifer's here. We're going to take the new truck for a spin.
Well, bring her along. This concerns her too.
Welcome to Practical AI, everybody. My name's Jeff, and I'm with Peter Lynn. Peter, a lot of gloom and doom out there with AI topics, but not everything's gloom and doom. We've been talking a little bit about how AI could be a tool to help assist learning. Why don't you help us expand on that a little bit?
So there's Khan Academy, which has been around for a decade now. And Khan Academy actually was pretty big when it came online because it allowed students to have kind of almost one-to-one interaction with a mentor or a teacher or a coach of some sort. And now with generative AI, they've trained a new model that actually helps you learn without giving you the answers. And so there's a TED Talk with Sal where he demonstrates their new AI that they've been working on, and it's already, parts of it's already live up on Khan Academy. Yep, so that's it. And I recommend people watch it because some of the demonstrations he gives halfway through are really cool and powerful.
Yeah, so Peter, with this one, what was interesting is that here we have like a standard distribution of I think this was intelligence or something.
Learning.
Yeah, learning. And what they were hypothesizing is that they can get, with mentorship and sort of structured learning, you can get people farther to the right here into the intelligence quotients or whatever, and you can narrow the curve, right?
Yep.
And that was really interesting that they're using sort of a chat bot, which doesn't give you the answers, but it really kind of guides you along and asking follow-up questions and stuff like that.
Yep. Yeah, it's a great use of large language models to look at why is the student not understanding the question or the problem or the concept. So this is an old problem that's been in the AI educational space for at least 2 decades. And there are people that are working on this, of like, when you build intelligent tutors, the important thing is to understand why is the student not getting it because of the concept. So it's not just like getting the answer wrong. The more important thing is, like, is there a conceptual gap that they're missing? And with these new AIs, they're getting much better at that. Because before, computer scientists would actually they would handwrite rules, handwrite logic to figure out, like, oh, they got question 4 and 8 wrong, and they have the same concept. So now let's prompt and say, oh, do you understand this concept? So for example, if you're a medical student and someone is answering the wrong answer to a couple questions, you can ask, well, maybe you don't understand what autoimmune means. So then it would say, go read these paragraphs or these chapters to really understand. And then it would then prompt, how do you define autoimmune? What does it mean? To try to gauge, one, is a student actually understanding what autoimmune means? And if they're not, let's keep presenting them information. But it's static, because like someone has to gather the material, they have to write a whole bunch of code, write a whole bunch of questions, they have to monitor the person's interaction, and then like figure out yes or no they understand the concept.
Yeah, it's interesting because you think of that sort of classic tutor, human tutor, and you think, well, there's a lot going on there. You're reading body language, you're picking up on cues, you have maybe time that you've spent with this person, so you know them a little bit. You get to know how they learn and what they learn. And so the cynic would say, well, you could never replace that, right?
Yeah.
But, in the same way that they say probably, somewhat realistically, that an AI driver eventually should be better than a human driver, right? They should be able to, they won't fall asleep, they won't drive drunk, they'll obey the traffic laws, whatnot. In the same way, you can imagine where a tutor that's an AI could be better than a tutor, especially if you consider how many bad tutors we've all had.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I think if we go back to the educational smart tutor research field, originally it started with kind of simple premises, and then around 2005, 2010, they realized, oh, wait a minute, like maybe we need webcams to look at the student and try to figure out, is it because there's some emotional state that's preventing them from learning, right? Because like a lot of students will get frustrated and they'll feel like, oh, I must be an idiot or I must be dumb because I'm not getting this stuff. And so that's that fight or flight kind of instinct that's built into humans. And we're in that state of like, oh, I'm dumb and I'm never going to learn it. It's not that they're dumb. They're just in this mental state where they can't absorb the information. And researchers realize, oh, okay, we need to like figure out when students are in this fight or flight mode. And then we can then try to adjust how we program the tutor so that it's more effective. But the problem is that you have to first train a computer vision model to detect when someone's feeling like frustrated or angry or mad, which is not easy.
Right.
But with large language models, we can kind of pick those up more easily because it's text. Because now if someone could type in, well, I'm kind of confused. Why is this equation rewritten this way in order to solve it? The language model can pick out the sentiment and go, oh, okay, the student is flustered.
Not only pick out the sentiment, ideally, but also maybe in the way that person asks the question, the large language model could determine that it's missing some context, which a human tutor should be able to do as well.
Yep.
But I think the hypothesis would be eventually the non-human tutor should be even better because they might be able to read a lot into those sentences.
Yeah, I would say the ideal combination is a human tutor and an AI tutor together. Because humans are, I mean, are complicated. Like when I think about mentoring junior developers, there are a lot of times where someone they just graduated from college, we hire them, and now they're in this training. And they've been taught one set of things by the professors, and now we're giving them a real problem. They're like, Peter, this ain't working. Am I cut out for this? So my first thing is like, we expect you to struggle. We expect you to make mistakes. This is a safe space. Right. And so that's what they need at that moment, not like the actual answer to why their code's not working.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's
so
good.
eventually I think it'll get there.
It's an amazing space, and it's one of the more optimistic, lenses that we can look at AI through, and really hopeful that soon this will start moving those bell curves over to the right a little bit to get these kids, especially kids that don't have access to all these other, real life tutors, but get them closer to knowledge and learning in a way that they can sort of max out. So thanks for the update, Peter. We'll cover more of these topics. Like, subscribe, and ask questions, and we will try to stay on top of things for you. Take care, everybody.